And I'm also want to very much support Vera in her way. I'd also like to say we've done a big collection here this morning. Vera, your lunch is paid for, your dinner is paid for, and we're here to support you all the way. I think it's absolutely scandalous. I do support Simon Harris now, in fairness. I think give him a chance in the role, but I'd also like to say that he should have stopped it. He could have put a stop to it and not let the lady come the whole way. In fairness, she's at home, sick child at home. She should be at home taking care of her sick child. Shouldn't have been put at our doorstep in the first place. It's disgraceful. We know the country's on its knees, but I do say give Simon Harris a chance, give him a chance in the role, but he had the power to stop it. The lady didn't need to come the whole way.
And I'm here this morning with all my neighbours in the community in solidarity with Vera. She's had come a long way. 8 days, very, very hard for her. Emotionally, I'm saying physically, it's just taking an awful lot out of her, but she's a determined woman, and we're here just to offer that bit of solidarity to her now. Hoping there's a big, big crowd for her, and I hope that she gets a bit of a boost when she sees people here waiting for her, and there's another gang of people down the road there as well, waiting to sort of give her that support she needs.
We went down to Tipperary last Tuesday and did a leg of the journey with her there. So we've been trying to find her here. We got up from Wexford at about 10 o'clock this morning, followed the 13 route all the way to Clondalkin, and when we couldn't find them, we hopped on the 13 and came down here to the next stopping point. So, you know, I mean, yesterday I was at a press conference giving my story about being a mother in Bessborough home in 1981, and I think from that time, anything that is about mothers fighting for their children, anything that is about women and families and children will absolutely touch me to the core. So I will do what I can to support Vera and Ava. This is not just about Vera and her family, this is about lots of families in Ireland, and we're fully behind the campaign for medicinal cannabis. Oh, Vera, how are you? We've been looking for you all morning.
I'm here because I have 2 daughters who are healthy, and I don't know if they were sick, what I do for them, and I just applaud her for what she's doing for our children.
I have 2 kids and they're both healthy, thank God, and she shouldn't have to walk from Cork, you know, just to get medicine for her child. You'd like to think you do the same, but I think she's very, very brave to do it. It's a long, long walk, and well, she's being pushed now, but you know, because she can't walk. And they're sitting inside there and won't sign a piece of paper, so she doesn't have to.
I'm asking Minister Harris for the last few months now to legalise cannabis for my own illness, which is lung disease, chronic lung disease. I'm going to need transplant eventually. I'm in chronic pain. I use cannabis oils illegally as it is. I was maintained on a script of over 20 pharmaceutical medications, and I couldn't live any life on that. I've quit all the pharmaceutical medications since using cannabis oils, which proves that they do in fact work. I'm here today to also ask Minister Harris to legalise cannabis oils for Ava, because this little girl is being marginalised at the moment and not being allowed to live her life. It's just plain and simple. At the end of the day, this is a 7-year-old child that he's effectively handing her a death sentence, and I do believe if it was his child or Enda Kenny's child or any of the rest of their children, this legislation would have been passed and it would have been allowed.
You know, it's a humanitarian. I think that it's disgraceful what the government are doing, and you know, when you see the images of that child having the fit, I mean, any human being would react the same. So I'm all for Vera, Paul and Ava. I think that they need all our support, and this has been a grassroots movement, and it just goes to show that it restores my faith in the people of Ireland.
I'm supporting Vera because she helped me to find cannabis oil, and it's changed my life and other people that I know that have started on it. And it's ridiculously expensive, 300 quid for 100 millilitres. That doesn't last very long, so we're saving the government money by being on it. I'm off prescriptions, all prescriptions for the last 5 months. My doctor is monitoring me, he's shocked.
So you're actually...
Cannabis oil is working for me, yeah. She's doing this for everybody. She's really helping me, loads of other people, every other human in Ireland that needs this medicine. And I'm getting emotional again.
Like, there's so much wrong in this country, and a bottle of oil for a lady to look after a child. Let's be honest, we need some compassion. There's no compassion here anymore. People behind us in there, I don't think they know the meaning of the word compassion.
How does it make you feel to know that she's had to walk such a distance?
Disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. It should have never been allowed. Never been allowed. And she's only one in millions that needs it as well. So it should never ever have been allowed for that woman to walk for 8, 9 days. No way.
I have epilepsy myself, and I'd like to think that if ever I needed the cannabis oil, that it would be made available to me as it should be made available to her. I've also a friend with serious epilepsy, and this might benefit him as well. So I hope that the government will bring in the required legislation to give that poor child her right to as much of a normal life as it's possible to have. To not do anything for a child, I mean, doesn't it say in the 1916 proclamation or the Constitution, we respect all people, all citizens of the state equally? Well, where is the respect for little Ava? Why does her mother have to walk all those miles, wreck her knee? She's in a wheelchair now, according to the photographs on Facebook, and it is disgusting that it is necessary for her to do this, not once, but twice.
We walked from Newbridge into the town, Kildare, and it was a great turnout. Now there's a big crowd with her at the moment, so that's what we're waiting on.
What do you think of Simon Harris and everyone inside and Dáil?
I better not use any language. I'll try not to. They should dig a big hole and throw the little parasite in it. I mean, it's an absolute disgrace. What has he done? He doesn't even want the job. He doesn't even want the job.
Oh yeah, I'm delighted I came up, Doc, because I want to support the lady. It's amazing what this lady has suffered over the last few years really, and not just herself, not just Vera, but her husband Paul and the children. And hopefully, please God, there will be good results here this afternoon. There's a great crowd here. I mean, it's not a good day, but there are quite a few hundred people here. I came up on the train this morning at 10:20, but I also went up to Littleton last Friday morning to walk with her, just for one word, to show my support. And I can say this in Dublin today, that I know the thousands of elderly people around the country that I will be representing them here, because I know they feel about sickness. To see your daughter or granddaughter, whatever the case might be, it's an atrocious situation, and she should not have been allowed to continue this late. Something should have been done 12 months ago. I mean, hopefully, please God, that it will pay off dividends today. I mean, I spoke for last Friday night or Friday morning rather in Littleton. At that time, she looked like a sick woman, and she was confined to a wheelchair then since Monday morning. And she's getting fantastic turnout, great result. And I must say that Red FM were very, very supportive to her, at every time. It was like watching Coronation Street. It was a daily account of where she was and what she was doing.
I arrived this morning from the train, and I'm hoping to see Vera very soon now. There should be a good old crowd with her, so here for the all long haul anyway, and if she needs to camp out, I'll camp out with her. I have a sleeping bag, but I have friends that can bring me whatever I'll need anyway tonight, so I'll be with her.
We just had come from a health committee meeting that would discuss the whole issue of medicinal cannabis being made available more broadly than it is presently. The Health Products Regulatory Authority is quite clear that there has to be under very strict supervision, that there needs to be further clinical evidence and scientific evidence made available before it could be broadened out to make it more available. But there is now in place a licensing system where if there's an application made and if we can get a consultant to be involved in the application along with a general practitioner, that it can be looked at on an individual case. Clearly that's the area where Vera is campaigning for. But I mean, TDs are not the ones that prescribe. That is a medical issue, and it is for clinicians, doctors and consultants to decide on an individual case-by-case basis. And I just hope that a remedy can be found here to assist Ava in her fight with epilepsy.
Yeah, bring the whistle. Make it happen! 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 Make it
I think the last kilometre was the hardest part of that walk, I have to say. We've done about 240 kilometres from Mallow to here, and I can honestly say we had an amazing reception from every single town we went through the last 9 days, and I have a complete new understanding of Ireland and the ordinary people of Ireland. They're more than decent, they're amazing, and amazing response they've shown.
I didn't walk from Aberlour up to Dublin to have a meeting. I walked up to Dublin to highlight the fact that there is an injustice being done to my daughter, Eva.
But when you actually press them, Eugene Lennon from the Department of Health had to admit this was a policy decision made by the Minister, right? That's the issue. It's a policy decision made by the Minister to set the bar at a level at which the neurologists and the doctors can't prescribe.
And as the march or the walk wound its way towards the Dáil, I noticed that on all the construction sites on the scaffolds, construction workers stopped, cheered, gave the thumbs up. Cars and trucks honked their horns. It was very loud at one point. Little groups of people standing at street corners joined in. Women out with their bags of shopping came out on the road to kiss Vera and to hug her and wish her all the best. The level of support is just outstanding.
Tom Curran, I am the partner of the late Mary Fleming, and Mary used cannabis for the last 10 years of her life. Unfortunately, we had to become criminals to provide it. I grew it, I processed it, I extracted the oils, and it was by far the best medicine that she got. Now she's been dead for just over 3 years, and I advocate to other people that they should do exactly the same. I don't suggest that they become criminals, but it's the only way that we can get access, as has been proven with Vera and Eva. The two symptoms, I suppose, that Mary had that it benefited her most were spasms and pain, and the spasms disappeared when she took cannabis, and the pain subsided completely. But the prescription medications that she was on, she physically couldn't take any more of the spasm medication. She was on the maximum amount that was allowed or safe to take. And on the pain medication, if she took any more of it, she was comatose. And also, for the pain management prescription medication, she had to take other medication to combat the side effects of that. Whereas once she started taking the cannabis, those side effects disappeared. She started to get sleep for the first time in a long number of years, which meant I got sleep as well, so double benefit. And also it helped with her mood, so it was benefit all round. The problem with the way things are at the moment is that I'm not sure who. The buck seems to be passed from person to person, and this exemption order situation has been there for a long time. That's nothing new. That's been there. People have used it before, not necessarily for cannabis, but it's been used for lots of other drugs in other situations. So by complying with the rules of an application on the exemption order, it should be possible for him to sign it. I have no idea why that's not happening.
Shush, shush.
Hey, Vera, how did you get on?
Do you want to talk?
Her voice is gone, okay.
Obviously, we've just finished the meeting with the Minister there. It was 4.5 hours. A very, very long, arduous meeting. But I mean, obviously, Vera can speak about the outcome, about the application, but I think it was quite a positive meeting. And I think we should hear something positive in the next 2 weeks regarding Vera's application, hopefully.
Have you gotten a guarantee for Eva from this meeting?
Not 100% guarantee, but we've got a number of options that I think are very, 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 very viable that haven't been kind of put, presented in this application. So I think it's quite progressive. I think Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil have seen the strength of numbers on the street. It's incredible. Today was just incredible, and they know if Vera is in the same position the next 2 to 3 weeks, I mean, there'll be more people out this time, the next time. So I think, So look, I think it's a very, very, very long day and kind of very kind of arduous for Vera. But I think we're progressing to the right direction.
Great stuff.
Vera, I know your voice is gone, but can you try to tell us how you're feeling after the meeting and your thoughts on it?
Well, we got a series of options that we hadn't before we walked from Cork. So last Thursday we didn't have any options at all. And tonight, after how long? 4 hours?
Four and a half hours.
Nearly 5 hours of kind of, I suppose, negotiating with them. They did make an attempt to find solutions. So I think the next step now is to look into progressing those options, and then, well, we'll see that hopefully those will result in Ava getting the medication that she deserves.